Welcome back to the Cowboys Fan Show, ladies and gentlemen. It's October. You've seen it on the field on Sunday. I'm wearing pink. Can we turn the set pink, guys? There we go. So as you know, October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We like to join the NFL in raising awareness for the horrible disease. I'm sure we all know somebody that's been affected by breast cancer. So just doing a little bit of what we can here this week. So let's jump right into segment 2. In this one, we like to look at what went right and what went wrong on Sunday. So to do that, we're going to look back at Scott's keys from last week. And we'll start off with your first key, Scott. Find pressure with the front four. The Cowboys had 4 sacks this week. Benson Mayowa, Cedric Thornton each had 1. Terrell McClain had a sack and a half. Yep. And Jack Crawford even had half a sack, so they did their job.
Jack, he's a consistent player. I like him a lot. Terrell McClain is he's playing like a champ this year. I mean, there's a lot of talk about him being, called the defensive MVP on this team right now, just because of the style that he's playing. But one guy that wasn't on that list that I think actually was responsible for a lot of that pressure and a lot of the handing sacks to other guys was DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, he came back and you could see it in every play. He was getting pressure. He had missed a sack by just a hair several times in this game. He was so close. He just wasn't finishing, but he added a lot of pressure and much needed pressure.
Dallas could have easily had 7 sacks in that game, as you said. There was just a few that they just couldn't wrap him up, just slipped right out of their grasp. But the Cowboys' defensive line did a spectacular job. Jeremy Hill could not do anything at all. Gio Bernard had himself a very small day. And that front four, as you said, they found the pressure. They did exactly what they needed to do.
Absolutely. And that was a huge key to the game. And if you're watching Andy Dalton, he was scrambling all day.
Yeah.
He couldn't get anything done with A.J. Green. I mean, we talked about it, pre-show, 4 catches, 50 yards, most of that garbage time, and that comes from pressure.
Yeah, and that's going to lead us into our next key, actually. Your second key was cornerback play, specifically the matchup with A.J. Green. As you said, 4 catches for just 50 yards. Yep. Brandon LaFell had the biggest day for the Bengals, and there's probably a lot of people at home saying, who's Brandon LaFell? Exactly. The Cowboys needed to shut down A.J. Green. They did exactly that. He had 1 meaningful catch in, the second quarter, first or second quarter. It was early in the game. LaFell had 8 catches for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both of those touchdowns coming when the score was 28-0.
Absolutely. You're shutting down A.J. Green. You're doing what you have to do. And, I mean, cornerback play, that was key number 2. He played fantastic. Pro Bowl for Morris Claiborne, he keeps playing like this?
Of course. Absolutely.
I think same. Hands down, he's a shoo-in. He was slapping passes away all day. I mean, he looked like the receiver out there. I mean, nobody could get it going except for, like you said, garbage time. And that's when we're giving those underneath throws to them, letting them march down the field, letting them take time off that clock, which they did. The defense played exactly the way they're supposed to, corners and front four together, and they forced them into extended drives. Yeah. And in the fourth quarter, and that clock ran out. They had no chance.
So Mo and Carr, both in the final years of their contract, definitely re-signed Mo. Now the buzz is, Dallas may not re-sign Brandon Carr. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that with the way that the rookie Anthony Brown is playing, and he got burned for for that last touchdown here, but if you're watching the tape, it was great coverage. He just threaded the ball, and there's nothing you can do about that. So, and he's a rookie; he's only going to get better. Everybody else is playing well. Scandrick's still not on the field. I would love to get both these guys back. Carr's playing like a champ. Mo's a Pro Bowl caliber year on the outside right now. But we touched on this a little bit earlier, is there are going to be some big contracts involved with that, and there's some other guys that need to get re-signed. We need to start worrying about Zach Martin getting re-signed. Right. So I think we're probably going to re-sign one of those guys, probably not both, and just pick up another corner in the draft and use that money somewhere else. But like I said, with the way that that Brown's playing, I don't think that we need to invest a huge contract into 2 guys at the end of this year. No.
Well, and then you also have Byron Jones back there as well, who just took the league by storm last year playing the slot in Scan's absence. So you have Byron. Barry Church is playing really good this year. Even J.J. Wilcox. That's a shock to Cowboys fans.
Absolutely. Winning is contagious, apparently, because Wilcox he's having his best year, his best coverage year ever, and he's still hard-hitting like crazy. And I think he had 3 special teams tackles this week, so he's really become a special teams staple on this team also. Everybody's playing good ball right now.
You know who J.J. Wilcox really reminds me of? Former Cowboy, used to wear number 31 Roy
Roy
Williams.
Williams.
He
That's
would
right.
come out, lay the wood, and
Yeah.
later in his career, he just could not cover to save his life.
Oh, you were afraid to go over the middle because of him.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And if Wilcox could, could really keep putting it together and keep this style of play up going, and and do a lot better in coverage, and that was his weak spot. I mean, he was always a heavy hitter. I think he's got a possibility he could be just as good as Roy, if not better, in the future.
And the funny thing is, last year, the talk was about how bad the Dallas secondary is. We haven't changed anything. We added Brown, but aside from that, it's all the same guys, and they're just stepping up and playing well.
Absolutely right, and I think that's a testament to the coaches on this staff, because there were a lot of injuries that we've had to fight through, and they've kept guys motivated with that next man up mentality. And I mean, when you talk about especially a guy like Mo, that's gone through everything that he's gone through, and we stuck with him, and we've kept him motivated, and he comes out when he's finally healthy. He's not discouraged at all, and he's playing his best football ever.
So let's move on to your third and final key from last week. Dak Prescott must have his best game to date, you said. I think he did. Aside from that fumble, which, you want to blame it on Dak, but again, it was Doug Free getting beat off the edge there. Dak really couldn't see him. Still shouldn't have lost that fumble. Terrence Williams should have just fallen on the ball. But regardless, Dak Prescott just tore it up this week.
Yeah, he did. And yet, T. Will should have fallen on that ball, but you got to hold on to it in the first place. I mean, it's all about ball security, and I'm sure they're talking to him about that. And if that's going to happen, I'd like it to happen in a game like that you think you've already got in hand. And honestly, we should have been handing the ball off to Zeke at that time anyway, or Morris to keep Zeke healthy or whatnot. But I mean, you're running clock at that point in time. Yeah, he played phenomenally. I mean, he was threading the needle, going against the best defense that I think he's played this year. Well, minus maybe the Giants, but yeah, he got it done with his legs. He got it done in the air. Look at, this play right here.
Beautiful read.
Yeah, you can't do that with number 9. I hate to say it, but they have to respect the legs, and it opens up things down the field for him.
And like you said, just squeezing the ball into those tight windows. Witten had a linebacker on his back there, and Dak just threads it through, as he did all game long. As you see the escaping pressure here, getting it to Beasley. As you said, we all love Tony Romo. Some a little bit more than others. But Dak Prescott is just playing out of his mind right now. Speaking of the Dak and Tony Romo QB controversy, we're going to cover that next. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Cowboys Fan Show.